2026 has already given us some straight up trash when it comes to video games, but despite the misfires, I think there's also been some pretty great games released, like Resident Evil Requiem, which I'm having a blast playing right now. I'm also really enjoying reliving my childhood playing through Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green on my Switch, and wondering how the hell I managed to beat some of these gym leaders as a child. Like many of you, I did also try Highguard and found it severely lacking, but overall I didn't really hate it as much as I just couldn't bring myself to pick it up again or really care about it at all. And same for Marathon. This next game, however, is just completely unique in how baffling it is that it even released, and that game is 1348 Exoto. This game pitches itself as a historically accurate representation of medieval Italy, complete with all of the staples of that time like female knights and lesbian romance, and this was developed by 15 so-called industry veterans. I'm gonna press X to doubt on that, who set out to create deep, memorable stories in believable worlds, which is why they inserted a modern agenda into the game and used stock Unreal Engine marketplace assets. Nothing says believable world like generic medieval slop or LGBT politics in my medieval Italy. It's genuinely baffling to me that 15 people contributed to this abomination of a video game. I have played games in early access developed by a solo dev that had way more passion and polish than this game could ever even hope to achieve. The game opens with Ada, or Ayeta, I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce her name. She's the bowl cut lady, in a tutorial where we're introduced to her partner Bianca, played by Jennifer English. Probably wasting this game's entire budget, but I have no proof of that, so we'll just say allegedly. But yeah, the game tries to establish a relationship here for you to care about, because what's about to happen is your village is going to be raided and Bianca is going to be taken for some unknown reason. Like, she's the only person left alive during this raid. I don't really understand why, but the problem is the game does not give you any time to care about anything, because this all happens in the span of like 15 minutes. I barely even had time to learn the characters' names, let alone develop any sort of connection to them, so that when they were separated, I would feel compelled to go on the quest to reunite them. And on top of that, the game is just always trying to tug at your heartstrings when the village is burning or when it brings up Ayeta's dead parents, but the problem is it never really actually gives you a reason to care. The only person we ever see or talk to from the village is Bianca, and you don't even go to the village until it's already being raided. There's no flashback cutscenes or really any information given about Ayeta's dead parents, and so it just kind of expects you to care about these things without actually putting in any narrative effort to make that happen. The narrative structure is also pretty terrible. Like I said, this type of story would typically work best if you gave the player a reason to care about the people of the village and Bianca before starting that inciting incident. You know, give us a little bit of time to get to know the characters in the world before ripping them away from us and telling us we need to care about it, but they never do that, and you just kind of go from one generic looking zone to the next without really any context as to what you're doing or any character development whatsoever. You just kind of have this vague idea of where Bianca is and kind of what you're doing, but it never really goes beyond that. In addition to the bland environment design and ugly junior high looking protagonists, the game only has like 3 different types of enemies total, and they're all some variant of medieval peasant, which makes absolutely no sense when you learn that these are supposed to be well-armed bandits who stole all of the wealth of their previous lord. Historically accurate medieval Italy, everyone. Now honestly, I don't know what's worse, the story or the combat. Combat in this game supposedly had consultants well-versed in HEMA, but this is more bare bones than some tech demos I have played. The game has absolutely no depth or variety whatsoever when it comes to combat encounters. It's actually a lot like Hellblade, where every interaction with an enemy plays out the exact same way, but it's like 10 times worse here. And for some reason, the game uses a heart system for health, like you're playing an old school platformer, and this allows you to only take 5 hits barring any upgrades you purchased from the also minimal skill tree. They also have a completely unnecessary guard system, which kind of just feels like an extra health bar and seems like it's only there to pad out the combat sections, which are already miserable. And I don't know if this was just an issue for me, but I had several instances where the game failed to register a block or dodge input, leading to me dying half the time. And just overall, the experience of fighting in this game is miserable. It's not even good conceptually. I don't think there's anything here that's even salvageable. It just feels awful to play. Aside from the combat, the game really doesn't have much to offer. Like I said, the story's very bare bones and not really all that interesting. There's a sort of skill tree variety that probably doesn't even need to be there, to be honest, because it's just a few passive upgrades and a very one-note provision system where you press Q to eat some food to restore your health, and that's about all the game has to offer. There's no interacting with anything in the environment, or talking to NPCs, or crafting, or really anything of depth whatsoever, unless you count pushing boxes around to reach ledges as deep gameplay. And putting aside just how cringe the modern agenda pushing of this game is, it also just runs like absolute garbage. I'm playing on a PC with well above the recommended specs, and still, even after tuning everything down to low and lowering the resolution, I could not get it to run at even a stable 30 FPS, which seems to be a common issue if some of the reviews I was looking at were anything to go by. But yeah, the performance of this game is absolutely abysmal. I also encountered several game-breaking bugs that prevented me from progressing and had to restart levels several times before I just eventually gave up on even finishing the game. There's just absolutely no way that this game was put together by 15 veterans of the game industry, because I've seen student projects that were polished and presented better than this. I mean, unless everyone working on this game was a DEI hire with no actual game development experience, I don't understand how 15 veterans get into a room, or 15 junior developers for that matter, play through this and say, yep, looks good, release it. It's really hard to care about new studios taking risks and then shutting down when they don't really get any positive reception, when this is the average result of those risks. I think the games industry is long overdue for a course correction, and if I haven't already made it clear, you should absolutely not buy this game, not even out of morbid curiosity like I did. The red flags for this game are there for a reason. I promise you are not missing anything. Anyway, that's enough misery for me. I think I'm gonna go back to trying to platinum Resident Evil Requiem to cleanse my gaming palette, if you will, while I wait for Crimson Desert. But if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and let me know what you want to see in the comments below. Any games you want me to check out or topics you want me to cover, I'd be happy to hear them. And thank you guys so much for watching. And lastly, to close the video, I'll list all of the good aspects of Exoto. Just kidding, there are none.